Hi, I'm Tali Frankel and I'm a speech and language therapist. Today we're going to be talking about low oral tone. In order to be able to eat and speak effectively, we need muscle tone. This basically refers to the correct level of tension in the muscles both in and around the mouth, and this allows for muscle strength, and it also supports the speed, coordination, endurance, and flexibility of all of our articulators. Sometimes children are born with low oral tone, and that means that they have reduced strength either in or around their mouths. Sometimes this is congenital, and this means that your child is just born that way. Some of the tips that might alert you to the fact that your child has low oral tone are an early history of feeding difficulty where your baby didn't latch to the breast or the bottle. They may have had difficulty transitioning to solids. They may have messy eating habits, or they may be quite fussy, where they don't like eating certain things and they find it hard to chew hard foods. They may have slushy speech, or speech that sounds a little bit indistinct with lots of sound errors in them. Sometimes prolonged or excessive drooling is also a sign of low oral tone. I'm going to show you a few simple tips and tricks that you can use at home in order to be able to facilitate better tone in your child's mouth. Bubbles are a fantastic way to help your child to develop lip rounding and tongue strengthening. When you blow, your tongue immediately retracts into your mouth. If your child can't purse their lips and do a perfect round ooh sound, one of the things you can do is blow a bubble for your child, catch the bubble on the bubble stick, and then hold the bubble close to their lips and get them to kiss the bubble. If they still can't do a spontaneous lip rounding, you can facilitate that with your fingers by just doing this. Once your child can kiss the bubble, you can then encourage them to blow the bubble off the bubble stick and encourage them to use the word whoo. You can pretend to be the wind or a little owl. Once your baby can do that, or your child can do that, you can proceed to letting them blow bubbles all by themselves. Another fantastic way of helping your child to develop oral strength is by using straw programs. Straws are fantastic ways of getting children to increase their oral tone, and you can use shorter straws, or as they develop their skills, longer straws. Remember that the longer and the thinner the straw, the harder their muscles have to work. And once they've mastered straw drinking, you can experiment with different textures. So you can introduce things like drinking yogurt or custard through a straw. Remember that your child shouldn't bite the straw. So what you can do is you can actually snip the top of the straw so that it's low enough that only their lips can fit around the straw mouth. Horn blowing is another fantastic way of developing oral motor strength. You can start with flat horns like harmonicas, and also flat-lipped horns like this one, this little train, or even something like this. Once your child gets better at blowing, you can introduce smaller and rounder horns like this, which require more effort to blow. And once they've proceeded to go through a whole range of horns, you can then introduce blowing up balloons for a birthday party. In terms of feeding, you can encourage your children to eat crunchy snacks like pretzels, cucumber sticks, carrot sticks, biltong, dried fruit. And for those of you who have slightly older children, you can even use bubble gum as long as this is a supervised activity for a short-term period of time, and let them alternate between chewing on their right and then chewing on their left before spitting it out. The last thing you can do is you can encourage side spoon feeding. This is where for young children you can introduce feeding the spoon with some yogurt on it onto the side of the mouth, and this encourages better lip closure, and it encourages the tongue to lateralize and move more flexibly in the mouth cavity. Enjoy feeding, and if you continue to have concerns about your child's oral tone, please don't hesitate to contact a professional.